Hey, wow. Good evening. We are live. Oh my goodness. Hello, 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 everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you all had a fantastic day. And thank you so much for joining us. Oh man, it's another day. Oh, we are so grateful that you're joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I have my sister here with me. I'm going to just have her introduce herself and welcome her audience. Go ahead, sis.
Good evening, my time. Good morning or afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining us. This wonderful life, life has been happening lately. Um, if you're new here, my name is Victoria. I'm the face behind this page, and we just want to chit chat this evening. So
Yes.
stay tuned, stay connected, and engage in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching us from, and let's keep the conversation going.
Yes. All right. For those of you who don't know me, if you happen to be joining us for the very first time, and all my new fellow, followers, thank you so much for joining. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Justine. I am the face behind this page. I am a healthcare worker. I'm a mom, a wife, and a very proud digital business owner and a business mentor. Thank you so much for joining us. And as you can see, our topic scrolling down there, we are talking about motivation. So let's all engage in the comment section. If you have questions, please put it in the comment section. And if you have any contributions as well, feel free to put it in and let us know where you are joining us from. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you. So we today's topic is saying motivation is a lie. When I came across this topic, I answered it because uh it's not because motivation doesn't exist. That's one thing I want you all to know. Motivation does exist. But because most people um, are waiting for motivation before they take action. That's what, a lot of people, and I know at some point, I fell in that trap too. Um, and that's exactly why they are still the same. That's exactly why a lot of people are still in the same place that they are, maybe from the same place that they are from last year. And if you've ever said, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll start next month, I just need more motivation, this live is for you. I want you to sit down and let's talk, because if you've ever said that to yourself or said that to somebody, I want you to let us know in the chat. Just put, a heart in the chat and let us know, because I know it's a hard thing, sis. Have you ever have you ever found yourself in that situation that you probably, or encountered that personally, or somebody said to you, it's like, oh, I need, I'll start tomorrow. I need motivation. You need, because I know somebody has told me, it's like, you need to motivate me.
Mhm.
Have you find yourself in that
Ah,
situation?
yeah. I mean, a lot of people solely think motivation is the only thing that will get them out of what they need to do, but in actual fact, nobody can motivate you enough except yourself. It all depends on what truly you want out of whatever it is that you're struggling to do or struggling to start. It truly depends on your goals and your ambitions, and because if you're waiting for someone to motivate you to do something that will help your life or help your status, to me that means it's not of that importance to you. You got to be able to motivate yourself to go for something higher. It's like if you look at it, it's like you go to college and you're waiting for somebody to motivate you to study for an exam. So what happens if the motivation never comes and you
Exactly.
go sit on the exams and you fail?
Exactly.
Motivation is supposed to perk you up. Sometimes we all have those off days, off balance days, where you listen to podcasts and blah blah blah, and then you kind of lift yourself up. But nobody's gonna do it for you unless you have the strong desire for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I know a lot of people will say, I want you to motivate me. I don't have the power to do that. I really don't. But motivation has to come from within. You can be inspired by somebody, but not waiting for the person to motivate you to do something that's for your own self. You have
Yeah,
to be bold enough to motivate yourself, see yourself where you're going, see yourself where you want to be, and then motivate yourself enough to take the action to get there.
that's true. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And because the problem is a lot of people struggle with staying consistent in life, you know, and that is a huge problem. And I noticed that like nobody tells you this about motivation, that motivation actually is emotional. It is emotional, and emotions changes. So like today you are in a good mood, and then the next day you are not. So motivation is emotional, and
Mhm.
emotions will change each day. Some days you wake up and you are excited, and some days you wake up and you are just blah. um it it's all okay.
Mhm.
That makes us human, you
Yes.
know and it's some days, like, life is just hard, and like especially right now in this world, what is going on around us, life is hard in itself.
A lot of people are struggling. A lot
Yes.
of people are in a limbo. I
um
read on somebody's page recently, someone I went to college with a long time ago, and she was sharing how she's been out of her job for 13 months and cannot find any job. And she was just sharing, how she's been shy to, publicly say it, but she wanted to post on her page and talk about it. And that got me thinking, because like I noticed that a lot of even experienced people are having a hard time now. A lot of people are, you know, the economy is not the same as it used to be. Been a lot of people in a limbo, having a hard time with a lot of things. So um
yeah, and by saying this, I'm just gonna share something like a little personal. um as a mother, I was thinking about this. I think I was talking to my sister about, we talk about motherhood, because my younger sister, her kids and my kids are around the same age. They are just literally, like, her older one and mine, they are just weeks apart. And the same way applies to my little one and hers. So we talk a lot, we share a lot. And just last week we always reflect, and when I had my kids, I am here on this side of the world with no family, you know and it's it was hard, and like now it's still hard. you know I look at, like, when I had my little one, who was a preemie that I had to go back to work within weeks. You know, um, it's like I could have not been motivated to go back, but I felt like at some point, and I went back to work because I thought it's it was going to do me a lot of good. Because when I had the older one, I had help, but then I had the little one. The help that I had during the older ones that was taken away from us. So we didn't have the help. But thank God I had a friend who stepped in. At that time, she was home, um, taking care of her child. So she stepped in. She offered to help me with my little one. So I would imagine, my little guy, in the winter, New York winter, I will wake up early in the morning and then I'll put him in to drop him off before I go to work. And it was one of the most difficult moments in my life as a mother. And so I was a new mom and navigating this challenge of motherhood. I felt like finding myself. And I looked at my other siblings that they had, mom was there, somebody to help. And now here I am, I have nobody. It was, it's until today, there are moments I still cry about it. On Sunday, when we went to church, the message that came out that they shared, I felt like the person was talking to me, sharing your story. So you telling me about your friend, sharing her story. At some point, because somebody needs to hear that. Her story is going to encourage somebody. It's going to motivate, but we see that when you have the platform, I feel like I've had this burden every now and then to share, when my coach sometimes tells me, Justine, share your story. It's hard, but I feel like it will probably encourage somebody, help somebody, in one way or the other. Because a lot of people don't just need motivation. It's no, you don't need motivation. What you need, I feel like at some point I did not need motivation. I just needed to hear that somebody had been through what I've been through and had come out victorious and is thriving and doing so well. And a lot of people within our business community, when you hear their stories, it's just like yours. And that's what, to me, I don't see it as motivation. I see it, to me, like I would rather use the word encouragement, and tells you about the possibilities out there. So by sharing your story, for me, I know one day I will get to share my story. I know I share bits and pieces, and for me, it just encourages me each day when I share bits and pieces of my story. Recently I was doing my reels and stuff. I feel like I chip in a little bit of my story each now and then. So you don't only have to take care of let's say your children and stuff. You're taking care of you, you're doing everything. These are all things that you feel like when you are motivated, when I'm motivated, I'll do this. When the kids do this, I'll be motivated to do that, ABC. No, you do those things because they're important to you. I felt like I went back to work because I felt at that time work so soon at I think it's like 2 months. When I had my little one, I went back to work. Within 2 months, I was back to work, which is like 8 weeks. And I went back to work because work was important to me, and we needed the cash flow, you know, and it, as hard as it was at that time, Now I look at it as like, if I had known about this business, I don't think I would have done that. I would have, because there are days that my child will even look at it. We talk about it. It's like, mommy, why you don't like me? And like these, and he's only what, 4 going 5. You know, you feel the gap is there. You now it's like you're trying to bridge that gap. You know, it's hard. I feel I get guilty, like I feel that guilt and all that. So you don't need, like, I went back to work because I felt work was important, although it's like my family was important to me. But the same principle applies to, like, the goals and things that we have. Like, you set goals and it's important and you stick to it and you go through it. But sis, so I just want to cut off that and ask, why are most people never, like, they never reach their goals? Why?
I mean, it's a lot of things. I mean, a lot of people, fear is a big thing. The thought of failing. Um, like you have this big goal, but in your mind you think it's too big for you to accomplish. So you've already downplayed it before you even go into it. And that's fear talking. You know how the Bible says there's power in your tongue.
The tongue.
So prophesying that what I'm doing, I'm going to succeed. What I'm doing is I'm going to get to that dream. A lot of people that we see today, this is what I see. This is how I see it. A lot of people that we see today, and we look at their lives and we're like, oh my God, I wish I was there. Or, you're fascinated. You're like, oh, how did they do it? They didn't let fear hold them back. Some of them, if you read some of the stories, right? Me, I like our local African Nigerian movies a lot. I could watch it all day. So I was watching this guy, the guy that played um um oh, this movie was a popular movie. What is it? Oh, I forgot the title. But anyways, his name is Uzo. So that particular movie brought him out. But he had a lot of million views on that movie. It went viral, like it was big. Everybody's talking about the movie. So I was listening to his story. The guy has been acting movie a long time. A long time. So because that movie brought him out, people now went back and started watching all his old movies. Just one movie. So he stayed consistent over the years. He didn't stop. He didn't let the old movies that were giving him maybe 1,000 views or low views or low return put him in a box. Most people, we are so scared. And the what ifs, you ask yourself so many what ifs. What if it doesn't do this? But if you change that same statement and say, what if it does work? What if it helps me get to where I want to be? What if tomorrow I wake up and I don't have to pay mortgage? All those things, the negative part that's keeping you in that fear and keeping you stuck, you can use your mouth to turn it into a positive thing.
That's right.
So that's where a lot of people stay stuck. I remember when I was an LPN, I was an LPN for a long time. And then I was literally doing the job of an RN, but getting an pay. Nobody asked me, nobody motivated me. I just stood up one day and I said, it doesn't make sense for me to be doing what RNs do and be making LPN money. I took myself back to school and I did a crash course within 15 months. I did a crash course of going to school Mondays to Thursdays and working every single weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 days straight for 15 months.
Wow.
No motivation. I knew I wanted something better. I knew getting that BSN was going to open other doors for me.
Yeah.
So you have to, that's why I say these things are all when I talk to people who reach out to me, especially about my business, I always say these decisions are personal. It depends on where you are and where you see yourself.
That's true.
I have always been an opinion of I don't want to work to retirement age. It's been something I've said for so long. So everything I'm doing is to get me to retire comfortably before that age. And so my children can go on that vacation without checking an account. All those things, it's personalized. The number of people that my husband works in the banking section, and he always tells me the number of people who are crying every month because that social security check is not enough. When they use the account, it's not enough. So now that you have the energy, you have the job, you have the career, the good paying job, the worst mistake you can do is to not have anything built on the side that can retire you comfortably when you're no longer able to work. Because that money that's saved in the account, it goes by very fast when there's nothing coming in. So staying stuck doesn't get us any far. And using our mouth to say negative stuff of what it's just delaying us. You say that from January to December. 2027 will be the same story. But if you did something, I always say when we go alive, if you crawl if you have to. Crawl if you have to.
Yeah.
Nobody started with experience. Like me, I always tell, there's this girl, this one of my mentees, she said, I look at you and I'm so inspired. You're doing so well. I said, you think I was like this? I was never like this. You could never get me to talk like in front of people, all of that stuff. And no, you won't get me. But you build, you grow, you learn. Life is about learning. I mean, so staying stuck, I would say, doesn't get us anywhere. And you don't want to wait till when you're not able to have the strength or the resources to build for yourself, and now be thinking, oh man, what if I did that? I should have done that 2 years ago. Time doesn't wait for anybody.
That's true. Yeah.
I think a lot of people, it's because of the fear of failing, the fear of the unknown, the negative things we say already before we even dive into the opportunity, the what ifs. But you can turn that around. Look at how many stories we hear in our business, the transformational stories. It's countless. And some of them you are like, wow, did that really happen?
Yeah.
But they are ordinary people just like you and I. You and
That's
I.
true. Yeah.
Somebody who took action 2 years or 3 years ago is now making a residual income of $5,000 every month. Residual. This is just constant money. Somebody's retirement doesn't even reach that money.
That's true.
So, resources and what is within our reach now. A lot of opportunities within our reach. And this week I've been thinking so hard, and I kept saying, when you look back on our parents, grandparents, they worked so hard with whatever resources they had back then. But in today's world, where we have so many resources, so many technological advantage, we are still working hard. Why?
I know.
Why? It shouldn't.
It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't be like that. And yesterday, last night before I went to bed, I was scrolling through, I think it was WhatsApp, and there's this pastor in Massachusetts who was sharing this message about AI, letting people know that AI is here to stay. AI is not here to replace you. AI is here to make your life better.
Easier.
So if the early we understand this, the better. And I know a lot of people want change, but few people want consistency. You know, that is something that people don't want. Few people want discipline. A lot of people, like, we are not disciplined at all, but we want change. And to get the results, you have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent, because the truth is your future is built by what you repeatedly, you do repeatedly. It's not what you do occasionally, or how you feel occasionally. So it's something that we all have to think, if you want change, you have to take action. And by taking action, it's not like taking a big leap. Make small actions each day. Small actions each day. Especially for us, as working moms, and working in healthcare. When you're trying to take care of everyone else, you're doing so much, at some point you realize that's something. You kept waiting. Because for me, I remember when I first heard of this business, I went ahead, and I will never say, stop saying this. I spoke to the person that I saw the ad. I was, she was so kind. Um, we were on the phone, we spoke and all that. She explained things to me, but still, I'm like, what if? What if? That what if, like, made me brush this off. And then when I really found out, and I needed it, I had lost her phone number because I didn't even save her number. And I couldn't find her number. I couldn't, I wasn't seeing her ad anymore. I was like, oh my goodness, I missed out on this opportunity. It was hard. I I started praying, thinking maybe one day I will come across it again, hoping it came. But now looking back, I missed some the time that I could never get back. you know because the woman who, if you're a woman or a man, the person who creates different results aren't we are not they are not smarter than you are. The person who is doing so well in life, creating opportunities for themselves and their families, they are not smarter than you. Like, you and I are sitting here, we are ordinary people helping in everyday professionals, because now I say this, I have seen the light. So now I get to share, shine the light for others to follow. Because imagine, I walk through the tunnel, dark, navigating, and now I've seen the light. So what we do is we see the light now, we get to shine the light behind us for others to what? Also see the light, to walk through the tunnel. And that is what we do. And I am so pleased about this opportunity. And I look back, and I'm so grateful. You know, now I don't see myself stuck anymore. I'm not stuck. I have picked up myself, and now I'm building something that I'm so proud of. I'm building something that I know in the next year, even like in the next year or two, I can look back and say, wow. Because now I even look at myself, I'm like, oh, I've really come far. I have really come far. Because I have stayed consistent when I started this. I had not posted on my page for a very long time. And now I go on my business page, I take a look at this. I'm like, oh, is this me? You will see me like here, like, talking. I can talk my life away proudly, not because of anything, but because I'm part of a community that has built, like, boosted my confidence, you know. And that is something that I feel like nobody can take that away from me. And you don't need to stay stuck. You don't need to stay where you are. You don't need to live that cycle over and over, like, go, come, sleep, get up. You need to live life. And by living life, it's by building something for you and your loved ones. That your kids will look back and, like, in the next few years, they can go to college freely and not, like, accumulate loans like you did. That is something I don't want for my children. And that is why we are here, uh, sharing and shining the light on this opportunity for others. So, this, in closing, what are your last words to our audience?
I will say don't stay stuck. Um, Keep yourself motivated enough to want a change. We are already in June, so as you know, the months are flying by. The year will be over very quick. So if you had goals that you set at the beginning of the year to accomplish something, especially to dive into a business opportunity like this, take action now. Like my sister said, we've already gone through um, the process, and now we are shining light and making impact so other people can also benefit from this opportunity. Like I always say, crawl if you have to, but have something going, because the saddest thing is to work your whole life, build a wonderful career, but not retire. When you think of your current situation and one emergency will now make your savings look like a savings. You need to, if you know what I mean, then you need to do something about it. Something that you can grow, not just in money, but also in skills. This business has been an eye opener for me. I was telling one of my friends last night, I said, I think I've been in a bubble for a long time. All I knew was healthcare, EMR system. But through this wonderful opportunity and community, I've learned so much, come out of my shell, all those good stuff. And so if you're that person looking for that opportunity to build something alongside your career, reach out to any of us. Our website is provided, and we will be glad to walk you through the process, step by step. You're never alone in this business. So it's not a shiny business.
No.
It's not a shiny business. What I mean by for people who really want to build something legitimate, that's sustainable over time. So if you're that person, we would love to share the opportunity with you. We would love to connect with you, and we would love to share more light into what we do in our online franchise business. Alrighty. Since you have any last, oh, don't forget the promo.
Oh my goodness, we have.
Let's not forget that part.
Yes, yes. So, you heard my sister has, like, literally said it all. And okay. And in closing, I just want you to know that this month of June, oh my goodness, it's one of the best promos ever. If you go on my page, I just shared a flyer about this promo that imagine, like, starting your business, and you could place yourself in a position where you could be earning 4 times, like, the commission. Listen, I wish this promo was when I first started.
Sweet spots.
Yeah. But one thing I will say is, if you're waiting for motivation, listen, motivation will get you started. But even if you start, you have to still stay consistent. And like my sister said, this business is not, and I mean, it's not a get rich like overnight scheme. No, this is not a shiny option. And you have to come in, do your own due diligence. Come check it out, see if this isn't going to be a good fit for you and your family. If you're looking for flexibility, if you're looking for more room for growth, if you're looking for more time with your family, you know, I believe this will be a great fit for you, because that was what I was looking for. And I found it all here. And now I've created options for myself. So if you're curious about how we all started, um, about how we are building something alongside our careers, without quitting our jobs, we're still working full time. We're still working full time. And this business is running alongside our careers without having to pick up. So if you're so curious, come in, check it out for yourself. You see our website, just pick any of the website, register, put your name and email, watch the free webinar, and take action to see if it's going to be a great fit for you. All right. So until we come your way another time, we wish you a blessed evening, afternoon, morning. If you'll be watching the replay, let us know where you're watching from. All right. Thank you so much, and take care of yourself and your loved ones. Bye.